Hi, I'm Rachel from Ally Safety, and today we're going to dive into the top 10 most dangerous jobs in the United States, using data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. These occupations are essential to our daily lives, but come with significant risks. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting in at number 10, we have farm workers. Now, farming isn't always what you think of when you think of hazardous jobs, but there's a lot that can go wrong. From working on heavy machinery, working with hazardous materials like pesticides, working at heights, and handling unpredictable animals, it all contributes to a fatal injury rate of 20 deaths per 100,000 full-time workers. Number 9, underground miners. Although mining has gotten a lot safer in the last century, working underground has inherent challenges that are really hard to manage. From working in confined spaces, working with heavy equipment, and everything from the air you breathe to explosives to the distance it takes to get back to the surface, all contribute to a fatal injury rate of 20.1 fatalities per 100,000 full-time workers. Number 8, structural iron and steel workers. When you're building a structure that scales amazing heights, someone has to get up there and put it all together. Working at heights is the number one cause of death in construction. The risk of falls from heights, not wearing fall protection, heavy moving beams, and exposure to the elements all results in a fatal injury rate of 21.3 per 100,000 full-time workers. Number 7, refuse and recyclable material collectors. Also known as my son's heroes, the garbage men and women, the people who make sure our trash is taken away every single week. For them, exposure to traffic and heavy machinery contributes to a fatal injury rate of 22.6 per 100,000 full-time workers. Number 6, truck drivers. Initially, this one surprised me, but it makes a lot of sense. This includes all vehicles over 10,000 pounds, both commercial and non-commercial. Long hours on the road, poor road conditions, distracted driving, the pressure to meet deadlines, and lack of maintenance and training all lead to a fatal injury rate of 30.4 fatalities per 100,000 full-time workers. Coming in at number 5, aircraft pilots and flight engineers. The majority of these fatalities aren't from the big commercial airlines, but rather small planes being piloted on non-commercial flights. Think bush planes in Alaska or crop dusting planes. Similar to mining, flying just has obvious risks that are inherent, and improper maintenance and challenging flying conditions result in a fatal injury rate of 35.9 per 100,000 full-time workers. Number 4, construction trades. The number one cause of death in construction, like I said, is work at heights. Also, work with dangerous materials and equipment, operating dangerous equipment or tools all contribute to a fatal injury rate of 38.5 per 100,000 full-time workers. Number 3, fishing and hunting workers. Think commercial fishermen and hunting guides for this one. Anyone who's seen The Deadliest Catch knows that battling stormy seas, hazardous equipment, harsh weather, along with challenging work, can make safety really difficult in this industry. In the case of hunting, guns and wild animals also contribute to the overall fatal injury rate of 50.9 per 100,000 full-time workers. Number 2, roofers. Like I said before, falls from heights is the number one cause of death in construction, and roofers are exposed to falls constantly. This is also one of those jobs that gets hit with the most OSHA citations. For roofers, it can be really challenging to find the right fall protection solutions and also not compromise the roof warranty while using ladders and lifts to access the worksite. Not only that, but they're often battling the weather too. These challenges result in a fatal injury rate of 57.5 per 100,000 full-time workers. Number 1, logging. As someone who comes from a logging family and does a lot of work with logging associations, this one is no surprise to me. Logging is usually in the top 1 or 2 spots every single year. Timber harvesting is inherently dangerous, and when something does go wrong, you're typically far enough away from help that it's going to take a helicopter rescue to get you the help you need. Handling heavy logs, hand falling, and running dangerous machinery leads to the highest injury rate of all, 100.7 per 100,000 1,000 full-time workers. That's almost twice as high as the roofing fatality rate. Even though the use of mechanized logging equipment has helped to bring that number down, there's still a long way to go to make the logging industry safer. These occupations are essential to our society. For some people, going to work means taking on a serious level of risk. If you know someone who works in these fields, make sure to thank them for the work they do. And if you work in one of these fields, make sure to take your safety seriously. Thank you for the work you do. It helps to make our lives that we enjoy every day possible. Also, quick shout out to FMA that's working in the oil sands in northern Canada. Your work isn't easy and the conditions are rough. And a lot of these hazards may sound familiar, so stay safe up in the north. Thanks for watching to everyone at FMA. Take care and stay safe. Hi, Rachel from Ally Safety here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the Ally Safety Toolbox Talk membership at allysafety.com. There you'll find an entire library of videos that are created to make safety entertaining. I'll see you there at allysafety.com.